Welcome to the Place of Power Hour. I am your host, Pastor Alfonso Smith, and this is my co-host and beautiful wife,
Felicia Smith.
We want to thank you for tuning in today. Today we're going to go more in depth into what the Place of Power Hour is about, and we're going to talk more about what Place of Power community services are. We're going to help you to become more familiar with what we do. Power is an acronym, POWER. It stands for People Offering Wisdom, Encouragement, and Recovery. And what we need you to understand is that the place of power is necessary. We are on divine assignment to help people who are dealing with the wickedness of addictions and the things that people go through as they're dealing with recovery. We are here to let you know that help is available, and that's what we are here to do, to help you, because when one is dealing with addictions and recovery, you kind of need a guide in order to go through this, because we have to learn how to get clean and sober. We have to learn how to stop using. And again, I always want to say that addiction is not always drugs and alcohol. If we don't admit that there's a problem, then the problem cannot begin to be solved. So we are here to stand with you, and we are here to help you learn how to deal with someone who is dealing with this addiction. We are here to help you to also learn some of the signs and symptoms. If you suspect that someone, or even if you wonder about yourself, am I having a problem with this? Am I addicted to this or to that? Paul says in the Bible, search yourself, examine yourself. So we have to, at times, examine ourselves, take our own inventory. That's one of the things that I'm big on myself, is I don't like to try to get into somebody else's stuff, because I've got enough stuff of my own to work on and work out. So we will also help you to discover how to ascertain if these things are part of your life, or a part of someone, a loved one, or a friend of someone. We'll help you to identify what's going on there. We're also here to answer questions.
Yes.
We're here to answer questions. You would be able to call us on the phone number, which is listed at the bottom of the screen. You can write us at the P.O. Box. You can also email us, placeofpower@yahoo.com. You can email us questions. At some point, we are going to have what is called, we like to call Ask the Pastor. Mm-hmm. And that is where we will have a board of pastors, bishops, clergy, and a couple of college professors are going to be there as well, to answer any of the questions that you might have concerning biblical issues, concerning the Bible, concerning everyday life, and how it applies as it relates to the Bible. So start sending your questions in now. That's going to be coming up in this coming year, 2020. So, as I said, start sending your questions in. Uh, as far as any questions dealing with recovery, any questions that needs answering immediately, we will address those immediately, and we want to address it during the program so that others may hear, because I'm pretty sure that others have the same questions. And we are also here to give you resources. We are here in beautiful Indianapolis, Indiana, but we also uh, know that this thing, addiction, is not only in Indianapolis, Indiana. Addiction is across the country. Many people, many places are dealing with addiction. So we will be here to give you resources on how you can reach out to various places in your own locale. Uh, and I will say that some places are in the recovery business for the wrong reasons. We always tell people, and we tell our employees also, if you are in this business for the money, you're in the wrong business. Uh, Actually, you have to have a passion for what we do. You have to genuinely want to help people come out of the addictions uh, rather than being focused on the money. Uh, Recovery services are expensive, and we'll talk about that a little bit later on. So the recovery services are expensive, however, and it is a great field to go into, but I just say don't go into it for the money, but go into it for your passion to help others. You want to?
You definitely got to have a passion. It's sometimes it can be very hurtful, but we've seen a lot of success stories, and so that kind of just keeps us motivated and continue to do what we do.
Like I said, we will be informing you on various ways to uh, clearly identify what's going on with ones that you may suspect that's going on, as well as we will be able to help you to understand and see when you are probably or perhaps playing the role of an enabler.
Yes.
And an enabler is one who uh, sort of facilitates or helps a person who is addicted to continue on in the addiction. Uh, I can give some examples. An enabler would be one who calls in for work for the addicted person because the addicted person is drunk and hungover and can't wake them up, etc., or hasn't come home, so they would call in for work for them. An enabler would be one who would, well, look, I'm going to go and get you some beer because that whiskey is too much for you. So they go and get them some beer, and actually the beer is just something to get them started. Um, so that's what an enabler is, and we are not going to we're not downing you if you are in it. I'm pretty sure there are some enablers out there that are watching, because a lot of times the addicted person is the breadwinner of the family. The addicted person is the one who is uh, responsible for keeping a roof over the family's head and whatnot. So you feel that it's your job. I'm obligated to help this person to function. But we are going to, as I said, we're not going to down you for that. We're going to show you how to uh, come out of the role of an enabler and be one that will be able to facilitate them to into recovery and help them to get clean and sober. And of course, we understand that first and foremost, it has to be the addicted person's initial. It has to be their initial call that I want help. I admit that I have a problem and I want to get help. And,
Well, I want to speak on a little bit of that because
Mhm.
I once was an enabler. My father was a alcoholic, and my husband is a recovering addict, and I was very naive going into that. Back then, I thought it was a choice when my father was doing the drinking, not realizing the disease of it. But I found myself enabling him a lot and neglecting myself at the same time. So, for instance, he relapses, it was almost like I relapsed too. And so what I came to find out with meeting some people in the recovery community is that an enabler needs to refocus. And I say refocus because you done took the focus off yourself and you done put it on this person that is in active addiction. And so I began to go to Al-Anon, and that's what they taught me. They taught me to make sure that you're taken care of because that is their addiction. Life has to still go on. We still have to keep a roof over our head and things like that. So, again, speaking on behalf of an enabler, it's a tough thing to do, but you must do. Tough love.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Tough love had to come into play, and it worked, thankfully.
Yes. And right about now, I guess we'll give a shout out to Pam.
Oh yeah, a friend of mine I met back when I met my husband, who played a major part in me and learning and educating me. Now I have the book smarts. I have 4 degrees, but I also have the street smarts, and I literally now I literally used to go to AA and NA meetings and act like I was an addict, just so I can learn. But yeah, a friend of mine who, again, I thank you, Pam. I thank you, Pam. You was my ear when I needed an ear. You were my shoulder when I needed someone to cry to, along with God, and you were my guidance to help me to refocus my life back on myself. So
thank you, Pam. And we will. She's over Women in Motion, so we will put her information up at the end of the program. So there are many people that we have to be thankful to. While I was going through addictions, active addiction, and she was learning about active addiction through my actions. And again, as we go further into the programming, you will hear some of our stories, some things that we went through.
Plenty of stories.
Yeah. We can laugh at it now. I thank God that He has brought me out of it, and He sustained us, sustained our marriage, and our family. All right, so with all of that being said, those are some of the things that the Place of Power Hour will be addressing. We're going to help you. We are necessary, and we know that we're necessary because I know that there is someone watching right now who has, I would go so far as to say that each and every one of you watching right now has someone in your family who is or has dealt with some type of addiction. There is someone who is incarcerated right now as a result of substance abuse or one of the many things that can happen as a result of being in that arena of substance abuse and addiction. Sadly, as she said earlier, we have seen people in the program who have died. I've done countless funerals and have dealt with thousands of people who have came through the Place of Power Community Services. How we did it, only God knows.
Mm-hmm.
He made a way because recovery and being in the facilities, getting treatment, all of that, it's expensive. It is expensive. With the recovery houses, the average recovery house today costs us how much?
$125, about $125, $150.
$125 to $150 a week. And people who are coming out of or trying to come out of addictions, normally they've hit rock bottom. Many times their family has given up on them because they have took them through so much, stolen so much from them. They just have given up on them. Just don't have the money. They've lost their jobs a lot of times, and they just don't have the monies to go into a program. I'm happy to say that since 2008, since our inception, our price has been $80 a week to live in one of the facilities. And I will also say that there have been many times that we have had people in that did not have an $80 deposit. Normally you have to have a week's deposit and a week's program fee. But we have not turned down anyone because they didn't have deposit or the program fee. We normally will work something out, some kind of way. If we have the space available, come on in. We'll work all that other stuff out later. But we have not moved from the $80 a week since 2008. And normally each year prices go up according to inflation and whatnot, but we just have not moved up the price. And we do receive state funds, and we put in for grants here and there, and we also there are some churches that help us. Give a shout out to Iglesia, Ebenezer, Eastern Star, Pastor Johnson over there, Bishop, our Bishop. We love you, Bishop.
Yeah.
Bishop Stephen L. Thompson and God's Grace Community Church. So we do help. We do have some help from various churches and whatnot, but it's not the an outpouring of financial help that you would think it is. So right now we want to offer you viewers an opportunity to help in this fight against the nasty addictions and what we want to do, essentially individually, is to open up another Place of Power community center. We had a 50-bed facility, and the reason why we had to shut that down was because the facility didn't have a fire sprinkler system, and so we had to shut that down. The building was built way before sprinkler systems came out, and frankly, honestly, what happened was Indianapolis, Marion County did not have any coding on the books at that particular point in time to address recovery facilities when it comes to fire and
just being in compliant, period, as far as certification for a sober living environment.
Right. So we will be looking into that. Kevin Moore at Recovery Works will be talking to you on that, getting that back up and going. But the 50-bed facility, what we were able to do, I'll let my wife explain that because she can put it into a nutshell.
So what we did was we provided them various services before going out to the sober living houses. So they were able to stay here for 30 to 60 days and had 3 meals a day. Before they left this facility, they had a case manager, they had a therapist, intense treatment. The first thing that comes to their mind, I need a job. But jobs can be, money can be a trigger for a lot of people. And so it was important for us that let's get some recovery under your belt first. And so before they left, we wanted to make sure that they were comfortable where they were at. So a lot of times they had a foundation, and so most of them had jobs when they went into the sober living house.
Basically, when they came to the community center, they didn't have to worry about, I need to get out here and start looking for a job in the second week that they're here. No, they were able to concentrate and focus on their recovery.
Yes.
They were able to focus and concentrate on getting their feet planted firmly.
Yes.
And getting their heads together. They didn't have to worry about, I'm going to have to make up with my baby mama or my baby daddy in order to have a place to live, because once they came out of the center for 30 to 60 days, then we would move them into one of the powerhouses. To have a wardrobe, to have clothes to wear, that is a huge thing. It might not seem huge to us, but to have clothes to put on your back, to have food, even if you get food stamps or whatever, to have that in place, those are things that can bog down a person's mind and can lead them easily back to using because they want to numb out.
Yeah, because those basic needs have to be met before we can eat. Where am I going to go? I don't have any clothes to wear. What am I going to eat? And so those things have to be met before we can even start even recovery or therapy or anything like that. Mm-hmm. So,
and we will also be touring some of the houses, some of the facilities, because we don't like to just get a dilapidated house and fix it up. We have had to take whatever we can get, and we will take the people and say, look, this is the facility that we were able to get. Now it's up to us to fix this place up and turn it into a home.
Yes.
So we like to put the people into nice homes and whatnot. You don't have to live the way that you used to live. You can live like everyone else lived, comfortably. All of these things, it takes finances to do. And the finances, as I said, only by the grace of God that we have been able to afford to foot the bill. But there's an ongoing financial load that we have to face, and that's why we want to give you an opportunity to help us in raising these funds. And this is why we want to give you an opportunity to help us to raise these funds that are needed, not only to stay on the air, but the funds that are needed to help others, to help your fellow man, to help make this world a better place. Because, hey, there are people who are out there who are doing drugs and alcohol and things like that, who are causing the crime rate to go up. So what can I do to help? Well, you can give. If you have any questions or anything, or if you want to give to a particular, some people like to give to, these are for women. These funds are strictly for women. These funds are to house one woman for 30 days.
Right.
That's $80 a week,
yep.
$320.
Yep.
So if you want something specific for your funding to go to, just let us know, and it will definitely be done. Also, we have the ability, we are able to, when that happens like that, we are able to, if you would like to be able to correspond with the person that you are sponsoring. A lot of times there are women with children. One of the main things that I get the pleasure of doing is seeing families put back together when people get clean and sober, when people are successful. To see the look in a child's eyes when the child finds out that it wasn't because of me that daddy was gone, that mama was gone. It wasn't because of me, and all this time I thought it was me. But when a child finds that out through the counseling, we do individual counseling, then eventually we'll end up doing family counseling to put that unit back together. It is one of the best things that there is to me.
Yeah.
What's one of the best things that you like about the services that we provide?
We give them hope, and one of the things that we offer is eventually you move into your own home, and you can eventually buy that house. And so to know that one day an addict on the streets or in a shelter or in prison and jail, and now a year to 2 years later owning my own home, back with my children. Oh man, so when clients hear that, they immediately get excited, even in the beginning phases, because now I have something to look forward to if I continue down this road. So yeah, just to see that them just getting their lives back on track. Yeah.
The first two clients that we had in the place of power, one is dead. He overdosed. The other one, he has a $325,000 home. He has his own business. He has vehicles. He is a great guy, Brother Peter, which he will be on here. Another lady that is going to be on here pretty soon, Raquel, she just had her home built.
Yes.
And she is looking forward to coming on. We had Brother Jerry on here last week. So we do have success stories. So by you helping us to help others, you can also see exactly where your money is going. You can see where your money is going. We just want to thank you for tuning in on this week. Beginning in January, some announcements here. Beginning in January, we will be going to 1 hour. We call, of course, the Place of Power Hour, but the rest of December we will be 30 minutes. We'll be going to 1 hour beginning January. Also, we will be going over the 12 steps and the biblical equivalents. Some people get clean in various ways, but some people use this 12-step programs. And you also have what is called recovery. Celebrate recovery.
Smart recovery.
Recovery. But we will be helping you to how do you say it, get clean on TV. Get clean TV.
Yeah.
Because we're going to walk you through the steps. We're going to teach you, because it has to be learned how to quit using. A lot of people don't quit using because they don't know how. Simply.
Right.
So we are going to be teaching how to get clean, how to deal with the various things that come. I didn't turn my phone off, don't panic. Okay. So we will be teaching how to get clean right here on television, because there are some people who don't want to go out and say, hey, I got a problem, I need some help.
Right.
So you can tune in right here on the Now Television Network to the Place of Power Hour. There are going to be some preparations that need to be made, and we're going to be talking about deliverance. Deliverance. Now, in order for deliverance to take place, there are some preparations that has to take place. You have to get ready. I can pray day and night, all day long, for a person to get clean, and God could do it. Yes, He's able to do it. But what about when I'm sitting up here praying for someone who doesn't want to get clean, who doesn't want to get sober, who doesn't want to be delivered, or deeper than that, don't want to get delivered for real. What they say, for real, for real. So the person has to be ready, and there's a preparational phase that we'll be showing you and going through. You had something?
Well, I was going to say, it just reminds me about the man by the pool of Bethesda. He said, do you want to be made whole?
Do you want it?
So do you want it?
30 and 8 years.
Yes, so do you want it? Also, just know that we also are available to come out and do some motivational speaking, some presentation to some of your ministries, some of your churches, or some of the recovery programs out there, just to kind of give you some feedback on our story and how we came through, and so we are available to go to various places if you are needing that too.
Also, now that you mentioned that, we are also available to come to, if you have a recovery house, if you're just now starting up and you want us to come out, we have a team. We have teams, depending on what type of problems that you're dealing with or what you anticipate. We have been through from A to Z. So we are very adept in dealing with various situations. We have an array of information that we are able to share and glean, that you can glean from. So
for those who, if that's something that you have a passion to do in your state, yes, we are open to coming out and help you get started with that. So
because recovery houses are needed, are necessary
everywhere,
and you don't want to have a flop house.
Right.
You don't want to have a flop house, because if you allow them to do so, they will do it. They will run that place, and you'll be getting money, but you'll be like, oh wow, this place is crazy. All right, so if there won't be anything else that you have, sweetheart.
No, that's it. I'm looking forward to our next show.
All right, and the next one will be right before Christmas.
Oh, nice.
So we might even come on here and do a couple of Christmas jingles. Jingle bells.
We are singers. We have a CD.
A couple of them. Yeah, so
yes.
we might do something, or we'll have I tell you what, we will have someone, if not us, we'll have someone to come on and do a couple of numbers or something. How about that?
Sure.
All right. Well, again, for the third time, I'm closing. How many times does a pastor close? All right, so